Yes. Yes.
Start with that. We're brothers and sisters. All right. So, and that's good news. So, because Lorene Cary agrees with me, Ladysitting, my year with Nana at the end of her century. And hi, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing just beautifully. Thank you so
All
much.
righty, good. Well, today we're on the TV. We have a inauguration of a new president and vice president. Historic day, and I feel already we're peaceniks and we want the world to be in love with each other so we can have more fun. Is that a good reason?
I think that's a great reason.
Now, you've done something very honorable with it, and you've written about it. And I actually believe it's, if not the most close to taking care of your own children, taking care of your own parents or relatives in your own family, has the same high integrity and responsibility. Um, they're equal. You're taking care of these little kids that annoy you, or you take care of the parents that are annoying you. No, I'm just kidding. So tell us about, because you did some lady sitting, and I had Nana too. I had two Nanas. Both of my grandparents, grandmas, were Nanas. Nana. That's pretty cool. European Nanas. All right, I talked enough. I'm going to go to sleep now. No, I'm going to just listen. So tell us about your experience, and thank you once again.
Sure. Thank you. What an amazing day. This I had two Nanas as well. And I've learned that Nana is European. It's also an honorific in Africa as well.
Oh, really?
It must be one of those phrases that children can say early, right? Na 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 na. I was very close with both grandmothers and spent most of my weekends with this one. She was indulgent. My time with her felt like luxury, total luxury. It's also true that she was, as I look back on it, I think she was most happy with children. And she had one son. Did not have a lot of intimate relationships with men. She divorced her first husband. She had a marriage, but a cool marriage with her second husband, my papa, as I knew him. And there was a 7-year period where she stopped speaking to my dad completely. So little girls were the easiest creatures, I think, for her. And it got more complicated when we grew up, I must say. Yeah, of course. But Nana she lived by herself until she was 99 years old. She figured out, she drove to work 4 times a week until she was 94 and had a car accident. And after I was driving her to work for about a month as she recovered, and she said to me, well, honey, what do you think about me getting another car? I said, oh, man, no, please. But she figured out her workaround. She learned, when she could not get upstairs, as often people can't, if your legs aren't, you're in a wheelchair, instead of bringing her bedroom downstairs, she said she did not want to ruin her living room parlor. She had decorated it just so and wanted it that way. And she went upstairs on her bottom backwards. I cannot tell you the guilt and fear I felt leaving her, take supper, do work together. She still ran her business, by the way, doing books with her in the kitchen, and then leaving and locking the door, knowing that if anything happened, she would be unable to come down those steps. But she insisted on being independent. Yeah. And so she was until she wasn't, right? Until the one hospitalization and infection. And they said, well, where will she go now? And she said, I'm going back to my house. And the social worker said to me, legally, we cannot let this lady who can't take care of herself go into a 2-story colonial house living by herself. That, are you going to move in with her? Like, who's going to be with her? So that's when she came to us. And also because they had put her on hospice, and they said, we think she has between 6 weeks and maybe 6 months to live. So, yeah. So that's how she came to us.
Oh my God. I'll say bottoms up to her. And I mean it. All right, so well, it's a beautiful, beautiful life experience. And so what did you learn from Nana?
I think there are things I learned from Nana, and there were things I learned from the caretaking experience, which was different. I think I learned that Nana did not, I learned about her. I learned that because her mother had died when she was 6, that I remember tucking her in one night, and she said that she did not remember having a mother tuck her in that way. And therefore, she said she always struggled with being a mother herself. So I learned something about my dad from that. I learned something about their relationship. And also, I learned, this idea we have all kinds of ideas about love and what we need to feel. And we say the prayer of St. Francis, and every faith has a similar one that says, let me not try to be loved as much as to love, blah, 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 like that. But still figuring out how to love someone who resists intimacy. How do you do that? And how did I know that she gave me as much love as she could?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because, I'm 71 or whatever. So I've had a mother. She went through the Depression. She went through wars and so on and so forth. And I think that the mantra was, be strong. be strong. Don't show your emotions. So, because that's a sign of weakness. I guess, she, whatever, with my own mom, but those were they're almost sort of cliches from the older generation. Of course, we know that those cliches are for some, they're not for others. There's hugging people at 90 years old, they won't let you go. But for the ones that are not, it's inbred.
Yeah.
So as us, who is really we're responsible for, is us, I guess, did you come up with that? We have to look at the scenario in a different light.
Yes.
The quickest way to make a change is change yourself.
Yep. That's it.
So how did you go about to do that, though? It's not so easy. Big talker guy, this guy.
I found that for me, action, I think in recovery movements, they say, bring your behind and your mind will follow. Like, just do it.
This behind is getting a lot of attention.
It's getting a lot of work in this interview. Well,
and that butt is always working.
Bring yourself, do the activity, do the thing in advance of thinking about it. Often we are such, we want to understand, I want to stand on this side of the street and understand it before. No, maybe you have to cross the street before you can understand. So just do it. So that's, I think I learned that essentially, figuring out what's the duty, what do I need to do? How can I find, how much joy can I find in this minute, and then do it. So, and I found doing that, like where's the joy we can have at this moment? There's a January thaw that always happens in Philadelphia. There's always a day where suddenly it goes up to 60 degrees. On that day, run home, take the day off from work, take her outside, wrap her up in her old mink, put the hat on, spread the table and call it a Russian picnic and get out in the sunshine. Just do it. And then we too will establish something that we didn't have before. Do it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, as they say, the power of now. And in my book, I say, if you spell now backwards, I like this backwards thing. I always do that with my daughter. I said dad, but I'm dad backwards too. So the power of now, when you spell now backwards, it's one, W-O-N. So I really do think you by living life, and every time I write at the end, enjoy every moment. I don't even say minute. So as much as you can, but sometimes to do that, I mean, you can be easy on yourself or hard on yourself, but you also somehow also need people around you that will allow that to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody tells me, well, 2 weeks, let's discuss it again. 2 weeks, what are you talking about? Talk about it now. I don't have 2 weeks. I don't know where I'm going to even be. So I don't know. It's hard to do. It's more, I think it's real. The Saint Exupéry, the Little Prince, says, only with thine own heart you can see rightly. You know what's in that big gut, in my case. you right? I mean, that's what you feel.
Actually, I don't always. I don't always,
Okay.
because I think when you said that's a generation that doesn't show emotion, I was thinking to myself, one of the things I learned from her was not only not to show emotion, but not to know the emotion. You can like not deal with it a lot easier if you have figured out a discipline so that you don't know it. And in fact, writing is one of the ways I learn what's in my gut. I often don't know what's in my gut. I'm very good at just focusing and going straight through.
And not knowing it, knowing, you mean that knowing.
Yes, consciously.
The conscience.
Conscious, yeah.
Yeah.
So the writing, the checking in with the other people, having people you love that you gut check with, you say, well, what's happening here? Like, am I nuts? And they'll say, yeah, you always do this, right? And you say, oh, right, thank you. Good to know. But I also learned that there are some things I can't know and that I won't know until later. So I'm walking blind, do the best I can. And then, 8 years later, I feel like I have to write this book because I still don't understand stuff.
Well, you got a lot of people that understand you. You got a lot of credentials here. You did well with Oprah. You did well with a lot of commentary here. And you're going to do well when you create a one-act opera of Ladysitting and a play, My General Tubman. Now, I don't know why you call it Tubman. Is her name Tubman, or are you the Lady Tubman that has been so renowned?
No, I'm afraid that got maybe that got a little bit crossed. The My General Tubman is a play I wrote last year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
About Harriet Tubman. In fact, it was in previews just this week last year. Ladysitting, the play, which I am writing now, will be a regular full-length play at the same theater. Tubman did well, and they said there were a lot of people who read the book and said, "You do think you could do that in a play?" So I'm adapting
Oh,
it.
great. Well, what theater was it at?
It's called Arden Theater in Philadelphia.
Arden Theater. Oh, so you let me know when you're doing it, because
Oh,
I'll support you,
oh,
and maybe
thank you.
we can figure out a way to broadcast. So, because I would like to make shows. That's my CBS, PBS. I literally made 150 network shows. So that's my, kind of thing.
Hmm.
But this is beautiful too, because my mother was a librarian.
Oh,
And I never read a book because I was a stupid little child who rebelled. My mother's librarian. I'm not gonna read the books. Yeah, freaking books. No, that wasn't good. She got me back. Now I interviewed 2,000 authors, but I never read any of their books. Shh, because I'm a talker. I like to talk to people and learn what they're talking about. For
sure,
me, I learn. That's sort of like what you did with Nana. No, you talked.
sure.
Now,
We
yeah.
talked. We talked. There were a lot of things she wouldn't say. I learned a lot of her father's history and that whole history of him needing to leave North Carolina to come to Philadelphia when Reconstruction changed to Jim Crow. And again, that generation was something she didn't want to talk about. He didn't want to, but I learned all of this stuff. I learned about here we are on Inauguration Day. And I found myself writing in this book about the only successful coup d'etat in the United States, which happened in Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898, just 100 miles from them. And there was an interracial slate of town councilors voted in by what was called the Republican Fusion Party. They were trying to do this fusion. And the mob went in and killed at least 60 African-American people, took down the government, took all of those elected people out, killed some of the Black leaders, threatened everybody. Now, did the federal government send in people and say, "Oh, hell no, you're not able to do that. You have to put those people back in power"? No, not only did nothing happen, they put their own people in. They were successful in this coup. And the other success is that nobody knew about it. So everybody in America thinks, "Oh, this has never happened. What are you trying to overthrow?" Yeah, we did it successfully. And the only reason it was successful was because people wanted to get rid of this biracial government that was doing well. So I learned that kind of thing too, that she didn't talk about because I had to research it later. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm going to send you our Martin Luther King special we did on Monday. And I performed actually on the sax and piano, and it
Oh,
was a
wow.
concert. And then I read quotes from a lot of wonderful people that were on television on one of these channels that have quotes and music at the same time. They play some music, a soundscape it's called. And I'm proud of the show, and we're going to really build it out to more of a larger community and translate it into different languages and so on and so forth. Because Martin Luther King is one of the leaders of the world of peace and somebody within our times. And we were very close to Pete Seeger, who was a friend. And I did Woodstock 20th anniversary with the guy, Richie Havens. So
Oh, wow.
I'm into all this, peace, love, and harmony. So
Yeah.
last question, and I ask many people, we have a whole channel on this. I ask them what is peace or what is love, what is hope. I'm going to ask you because you brought it up earlier, love. So what is love for you? Lorene, what is love for you?
What is love for me? I think love for me is committing myself to another human being's fullness and growth.
The lucky person. Okay. Good job. All right. Nice speaking with you. Oh, wait, do you have a website too? I don't see that there.
I do.
Website. Let me make sure I have that here. And I'm going to I'm just going to put it over Oprah, you know, like just a little bit above Oprah. Is that okay? You don't mind? Oprah, is that okay? Yeah. She said yes. Okay.
Great. That's great.
Thanks. Say Stedman. All right.
You're so generous. Okay.
Your website is?
It's lorenecary.com. LORENECary.com. And the thing about Cary is there's no E in Cary. Often people slip in an E by accident.
That's because they're from North Carolina.
Oh,
No, it's Cary, North Carolina, isn't it?
that's right. Yes. But it has no, that Cary has no E either.
It doesn't?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I had a buddy that lived down there, but I was never a good speller because my mother was a librarian.
Because of the librarian mother. It was all her fault.
And she won the spelling bee of America. She was so smart, my mother.
Oh, it's smart.
Such a great
Cary, North Carolina has no E.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It has no E. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I was saying that. Because I could talk.
Right.
No. Talkers talk around the talk. All right, well, the important thing is to have a good time. In fact, you know, if you laugh 15 minutes a day, you add 150 years to your life. It's true. And you know what UV Blake said?
I'm going to stop laughing because I don't want to add 150.
No, they're good years. They're good years. No problem.
God, no.
No problem. Nothing breaks. It's all good. You know what UV Blake? Do you know UV Blake?
Yes, sir.
You know what he said when he turned 100?
No.
He said, if I would have known I was going to live so long, I would have taken better care
of myself. Yes, I do. I remember that. Yeah. No, I don't want 150 years more. Look, I took care of Nana till she was 101. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it up close.
Okay.
You don't want 150 more.
All right. But that was her. Science has improved tremendously. Let's get as many years as we happy, healthy years we can, right. Based upon the times.
Amen.
They have taught us. Amen. All right.
Thank you.
You take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too, dear. Bye-bye.